Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be looking at take-home number 2 for class 603 and class 633. Let's take a look at the first question. It's 2 and 50 hundredths, and we want to know if it's greater than, equal to, or less than 2 and 5 hundredths. If I write them one on top of the other with the decimal point lined up with each other so our place values are lined up, we see that in the ones position the digits are the same. In the tenths position, they're not the same. If I look 2 and 50 hundredths, the 5 is greater than the 0. That means 2 and 50 hundredths is greater than 2 and 5 hundredths. So we're opening our inequality sign to the bigger number. Number 2, find the product. When I multiply these, the first line, when we multiply, it should be 1,841. If you got this question wrong, check that the first line is, you have the correct digits. If you don't, you multiplied incorrectly. The second line should be 5,260. That X is a placeholder. Again, check to see that you have this line correct. After we add, we end up with 7,101. Number 3. Using the order of operations, we want to solve this or simplify it. Well, according to PEMDAS, the parentheses, that should be a D, parentheses comes first, so 12 divided by 6 is 2. Then I'm going to bring everything else down. We haven't done any of that yet, so it becomes 2 plus 2 to the third power minus 4. Parentheses are done. Next is the exponent, E. 2 to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So now our line becomes 2 plus 8 minus 4. There is no multiplication or division, so we can get rid of those. And last is going to be adding and subtracting from left to right. We see on the left is addition, so that has to happen first. 2 plus 8 is 10, and then 10 minus 4 is 6. Number 4, find the product. 4 and 9/10 times 2 and 1/10. I move the 2 and 1/10 down here, and I've lined up my digits so that the rightmost digit, they're on top of each other. The first line should be 49. The second line should be 980. And when we add those, we get 1,029. To figure out where to put the decimal point, we need to count the number of decimal place values in the question. In 4 and 9/10, there's 1. 2 and 1/10, there's 1. So that means there are 2 decimal place values in the question, and we should have 2 decimal place values in the answer as well. So we're going to scoop it over from the right to the left. It goes between the 0 and the 2. That means our product is 10 and 29 hundredths. Number 5. Find the difference between 8 and 2/10 and 1 and 95 hundredths. Well, I wrote out the digits here. The larger number on top, 8 and 2/10, goes on top, and we need to put a placeholder here. 1 and 95 hundredths goes below it, and the decimal points must line up so that our place values line up with each other. From here, we can't take 5 away from 0, so we have to borrow. After we've done all our borrowing and subtracting, we should end up with 625, and the decimal point needs to come straight down into the quotient. Into the difference here. So our result is 6 and 25 hundredths. Number 6. We want to find the quotient for 8,024 divided by 17. Well, 17 can go into 80 probably 4 times. I'm going to multiply that on the side. And that's 68. So we're going to put here 68. When we subtract, we get a difference of 12. I'm going to bring the 2 down. And my space is tight here, so let me see if I can make some more space. There we go. All right, so we want to put 17 into 122. How many groups can we make? And I've had them rounding 17 to 20, and I know 20 can go into 122 6 times, so I'm going to start there. And that product is 102. We can add one more group of 17 to it. So we get 119. So it can go in 7 times. Product is 119. And the difference is 3. We're going to bring our 4 down. From here, 17 can go into 34 2 times exactly. And we can show that on the side. 14, carry the 1. That's 34. We're left with no difference, or no remainder. So our quotient is 472. That's over here already. Number 7, find the sum. Again, we have to line these up. The decimal points or place values line up. We're going to add a 0 as a placeholder, and we're going to add straight down. So after we've added, we get 1,142, and the decimal point comes straight down into the sum, so it becomes 11 42/100ths. Find the quotient here. I showed the long division, and we're taking it step by step. If you've done it incorrectly, check each line to see if you agree that 6 goes into 8 one time, and that product is 6 here. And then keep going. Bring the difference is 2. Bring the 3 down. So check each line of your division problem to see where your error is if you got this one wrong. All right, list the 3 multiples of any 3 multiples of 8. A multiple of 8 is any number that 8 can go into evenly without being a remainder. So we get the first one by saying 1 times 8 is 8. 8 is divisible by 8. To get 16, 16 divided by 8 is 2, or 2 times 8 is 16. So we can do it either way. We can check the number and see if it's divisible by 8, or we can multiply by 8 by any factor to give a multiple of 8. What are the factors of 12? Well, factors are numbers that are smaller than our original number, and 2 factors will multiply to give us 12. So I've listed them out here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And we can make a factor rainbow. 1 times 12 gives us 12. So 1 and 12 are factors. 2 times 6 is 12. So 2 and 6 are factors. And 3 and 4, 3 times 4 is 12. So 3 and 4 are factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are factors of 12. The bonus questions. Kathy is baking cakes. Each cake requires 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla, and she has a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. How many cakes can she bake? We want to know how many groups of 1/8 can we make out of 1/2, so that implies division. We're starting with 1/2, and we want to break it into groups of 1/8, so it's 1/2 divided by 1/8. We're going to keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction as is, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction over so the denominator is now in the numerator and the numerator is now in the denominator. And then we're going to multiply straight across. 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 1 is 2, and then to simplify it, 8 over 2 reduces to 4. So she can make 4 cakes. Find the quotient. So again, we're going to follow keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction as is, 2/5. Division becomes multiplication, and 3/5 flips over to 5/3. Then we're going to multiply across. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Both 10 and 15 are divisible by 5, so we're going to reduce that to the lowest terms to get 2/3. I hope this helps. If you still have questions, please see me in class.